What is up, guys, and welcome back to another day here with the Auto Works. A lot of you guys have been asking for more automotive content, as well as the spray out, some paint jobs and everything else. So that's what we got today, guys. What I got here is some motorcycle parts from a buddy of my dad's. He wants these painted in a really cool blue color. So I'm going to basically show you my process for doing a lot of this stuff and some quick tips and tricks. This is kind of going to be a jump around video because I really need to get this done, but I just figured some of you guys wanted automotive content. So let me walk you around real quick, show you where we're at with it, and yeah, then we'll get into it. Alright, so what I've been doing is I just got these parts in. They got a few dingers I got to fix. I'll kind of show you one, like stuff like that. Basically what I've done is I've cleaned them really good with alcohol mix. What I did is I got a spray bottle right here, and this is just alcohol and water, guys, nothing fancy. A little rag, I wiped them down really good, and then I started sanding on them with 220. And then also I had a red Scotch-Brite for like areas like this where you can't really get into them very good. And I just taped off like the screw holes, and of course you don't want anything to get in the tank. And then what I've done is, as I was sanding everything down, I went around and marked my spots that I need to fix. So there's a ding there, a ding there, a ding there, a little ding there. These are all small stuff except for that, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit with that. And then I got a few areas on this, nothing major. These are like little pits and stuff like that that I gotta scuff out really good, and then I'll put some dolphin glaze in there, and then over there and over there. And then that's the other fender, the front fender. It's actually in good shape. Focus. So yeah, this is what I'm working with today, guys. We're gonna do a little bit of filler work, and then we'll be ready for some filler primer, some NASON filler primer. So let's get into it. Alright, guys, so I've been mixing up a little bit of dolphin glaze. That's what I'm talking about as far as dolphin glaze. It's just really fine filler is what it is. But anyways, back over here. See, I've just hit the spot. All I've done is just swiped it, guys. I do have to probably do this one 2 coats. I'm using dolphin glaze instead of Bondo just because most of these spots just needed a quick swipe. So that's what I've been doing. I did have a big spot right there, but you can kind of see, I don't know. It's, you know, it is what it is, guys. These are just quick little body work examples. Like I said, that fender over there just needs to be filler primed. So basically what I'm going to do next with all this is I'm going to hit it with black spray paint. That way I have a guide coat. And then we're going to block sand it. I got a little sanding sponge. This is my little sanding sponge. I'll probably put some 220 like that on it. And yeah, we'll block it out after we spray it real quick with some flat black spray paint. Alright, guys, so I was out of flat black, but I got flat gray primer. That'll work fine. Like I said, we're just going to dust it over it real quick to kind of give us a pattern so that we can actually see the high and low spots. But just real quick like that, guys. It ain't got to be nothing crazy like that. And you just kind of going over it. Let's see. Good enough. And yeah, so let this dry up, and then we'll be able to see our high and low spots when we go to sanding. Alright, guys, so I've been blocking this thing out for a few, and I'm sure if you've watched YouTube enough, every YouTuber has shown everybody this. But I'm going to show you real quick as far as how you tell your high and your low spots with your guide coat. And yeah, then we'll get in some filler primer. Alright, so when you're blocking everything out, it's going to become very apparent. See those spots right there, guys? Those are low spots. And once you get to the point where you've smoothed all this out and you don't feel the transition by blocking it, you need to start looking and see where your low spots still remain. If you get all the way down the middle, then you still got a low spot, then you're still low. And what you're going to have to do is go back and fill it again, block it back out again with some guide coat until you don't see any of that and you've got a smooth transition throughout the whole thing. So another good example is like right here. I've actually done all this, and all this was fine, but right there, you see how it's still dark right there? I got a little low spot. And then you come over here, like right here. See, that's where it was scraped. And I was actually trying to fix this, and then I saw this. So you actually can feel that. So I got to fill all that right there. I fill the whole section, guys. And that way you have plenty of room to transition. That's the way, if not, when you prime over all this, you'll see it in the primer. You'll see a high spot, or you'll see the transition. So you want to wipe a good bit of area right here. So probably about from there to there. That way you have enough to block and build the transition so that when you primer over everything, depending on how you prime it, it won't show. Now, if you do a couple layers of filler primer, that'll help fill in those scratches. And like I said, this is just sanding, guys. Obviously, I got a spot over here. That's a big one. You see that dip right there. So I got to fill that whole section again, block it back out, and see if that's fixed. And like this over here, this area right here, I fixed all of that right there where you see where I had marked through it. But if you see right here, there's this ring, and that whole area needs to be wiped too because there's a low spot there. So you'll get everything more over time, guys, as you do this, and then it'll become like second nature. But that's just a quick rundown from me. So I'm gonna finish up the body work with all this stuff, and then we'll move on to filler primer. Alright guys, 3 coats of primer later, this is what we got, as you just saw. And moving over here to show you what I use. What I typically use is this right here, guys. This is Full Fill 42108 1K acrylic primer. I always thin it with lacquer thinner because it is a lacquer based primer. And it's a good high build. That's what, you know, a lot of people talk about, high build. So you can use this full fill, and you can mix it at different ratios to get a different thickness. I shot it through the VEVOR gun right here, the 1.8 tip, so I could get a little bit higher build. But the way I did it was 60% full fill and 40% lacquer thinner. If you wanted to do a sealer, guys, sealer is way different. That's what you use right before base coat. This is a sealer that I use a lot of times right before base coat. 42223 1K acrylic sealer. You can also thin it with the 105 AXALTA lacquer thinner. That's what I use. And once again, 60% to 40%. So what I did was I did the full fill on it. As you saw, 3 coats. We're going to put a little bit of guide coat on this right here. The body work's looking pretty good. Remember that big dent? It's gone now. And yeah, everything turned out pretty good. We'll do guide coat, wet sand with 400. We might seal everything right before base coat if I got any exposed metal when I block everything out. And then we'll go into base coat and clear. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, guys, so I got my little soft sanding sponge and some 400 grit on this right here. I like to put soap in my water like Dawn just soap because it helps the sandpaper and everything glide better when you're actually sanding. And what I've done is I've went ahead and put some guide coat on this, just kind of spritzed it around. You know, that way when I go to sanding on it, like you see, I can give it a few passes for good measure. And then when I pull away from it, I'll take me a rag right here and I'll wipe it. And you'll see where the guide coat still remains, and you want everything to look like that, guys. No more guide coat. And it'll actually show you your low spots. See right there where there's a little bit of guide coat remaining from where I was sanding? It tells me there's a low spot right there. So you want to get all those low spots out. And once you get them out, if you're down to bare metal in a bunch of places, then you might have to reprime, filler primer again, block it back out again, and then you can hit it with sealer primer right before you spray it. Or if you block it all back out and you don't have any bare metal showing, you just go straight into base coat. So that's the process. This is kind of annoying and tedious part of it. So I'm going to get this knocked out, guys. This is just a few little tips and tricks. And then we'll move on to sealer or base coat, depending on how everything blocks out. Alright guys, so fast forward a few. I've got my alcohol cleaner wipe stuff here. I've got everything sanded down. I'll show you real quick. And basically, after you get everything sanded the way you like it, then you want to get some prep all is what I typically use, but I'm out right now. So what I've done is diluted a little bit of alcohol down in some water, guys. It's just a poor man's prep all, and I went over everything with a microfiber, and that just kind of cleans everything up. Make sure you don't touch it, because any kind of oils off your fingers, if you touch it while you're wiping everything with it, then that'll get on the part, and that can cause issues as well. I know a lot of people that say, oh, I cleaned it, this, that, and the other many times, and what they did was they touched it while they were wiping it, and the oils from their fingers is what reacted with the paint. So all right, so now the next step. Now, everything turned out pretty good. So what my plan is I'm going to go ahead straight into base coat. There are a few little small areas that got down to the black primer that was on it before. I'm not really worried about that. It's a dark blue base coat, a really pretty blue we're going to be doing. So I think that'll cover. And yeah, so all right, let's move on to base coat. Alright guys, so now we're moving on to base coat. The base coat I'm using today is actually NASON XL paint, guys. So it's the step up from regular NASON automotive paint. The reason why I had to use it is I had a guy that wanted me to match this blue right here. It's a really pretty candy type blue, and I was able to match it. I have a photo of it where I matched it to a chip at work. And basically you can take anything and get it matched up in automotive paint, and but certain colors, depending on how many pearls and what additives go into it, only get mixed in higher end stuff. A lot of your tri-coats, stuff like that, if you ever decide to paint with that, it'll be mixed in a higher end like NASON XL or Chroma Base or something like that. So what I've done is I print out the paint coat at work. I've got various different additives in it. This paint actually has 7 different additives that go into making this color, and the color is called, it's 8554, but it's San Marino blue. It's a really pretty blue. It's off of a newer M5 M3 BMW. So I'm gonna open this up real quick, and I'll bring you guys in close, and we'll mix it up and everything else, and then we'll start spraying. All right guys, so I'm gonna shake this up real good real quick. And there you go. Like I said, it's off of a chip set that we have for XL paint. It's chip number 31, which is some of our blues, and 8554 is the actual chip number. All right, so let's open this up. And like I said, you know, switching over to automotive paint from painting like Rust-Oleum stuff, I mean, it's really the same, guys. You know, when we do Rust-Oleum, we're always using acetone, but when you do base coat, you're using 44121. This is just automotive grade reducer, and you can get it in different temperatures as well. This is a medium temp. So when I open it up, there's the blue. I'll bring that in close. Real pretty. I think we got really close to that, I'd say. So not too bad for a color I had no idea what it was beforehand. And yeah, so all right. Now this stuff actually mixes 2 to 1, guys. 2 parts paint to 1 part reducer. So basically, you know, you got all the measuring stuff on your paint cup. And I'm gonna pour some of this in there. All right. And it probably won't take much. The XL covers way better than the regular NASON. A lot of people complain about the regular NASON being really thin. So, all right, so that's our paint, and now we're going to use our reducer. I know this will be boring for some people, but I know some people are interested in doing both automotive and Rust-Oleum stuff. So we have, let's see, 14 ounces total. So 14 ounces, we need 7 more ounces. That'll make it 2 to 1. So I'm going to get it up to 21. Try to do this with you guys on camera. All right, that should work. All right, well, all it is to do now, guys, is to mix this up really good and load up the paint gun, and let's get to spraying. guys, so we got our base coat laid down, and now it's time for the glossiness, the clear. Today I'm using the Finish One Clear. You guys have seen this 100 times. Yeah, I don't know. If you haven't, go back and watch every spray out in the past year. I've been using this Finish One Clear. It's a high solids. It's a really good quality clear. It mixes 4 to 1, 4 parts clear, 1 part hardener. I am using a medium temp today because it's 75 degrees. So basically, yeah, that's pretty much all it is to the clear, guys. I'm going to mix this up. Some of you guys might want to know my settings. I've been spraying at 28 psi wide open trigger. That gun is an LVLP gun. It's a 1.3 tip. It's my URETHANE gun. I got it off of Amazon, and links will be in my Amazon store at the end of this video. So I'm going to get some clear mixed up, and yeah, let's finish up this project on this motorcycle. Yeah, guys, I say that's a pretty good one. I dare say the color that's actually on the tank is prettier than the color I tried to match it close to, but it's definitely got the same flop to it. All right, that's San Marino Blue, a BMW Blue, NASON XL. All right, guys, this is the final results with the paint job. San Marino Blue NASON XL base coat paint with Finish One Clear over top, guys. I ended up doing 5 coats of base, 3 coats of clear, and these are the results. I think it turned out awesome. The steps are pretty simple, guys. If you want to go back, watch my process, and follow it to do your next paint job, you can get awesome results. It's really not that hard. For my Rust-Oleum users that watch me do Rust-Oleum all the time, I know this is a little bit different, but guys, it's not that intimidating to step up from Rust-Oleum to automotive. Just think of it like this. With Rust-Oleum paint jobs, you use Rust-Oleum and you use acetone or whatever to thin it. With base coat paint jobs like this, you have the automotive base coat, and then you use reducer to thin it. The clear coat, the pearls, how you would do stuff like that, it's all the same. And obviously, when you venture over in automotive, the colors are endless, guys. And I picked out this really, really pretty, almost pearlescent candy blue today, guys. And this is just base coat. It ain't a tri-coat. There's not multiple layers. You just lay down the color, you lay down the clear, and you get a really, really pretty blue pearl paint job, guys. Almost like candy, like I said. But, you know, I'll have all the list of materials I used in the description to guys. If you can't find it there, you'll find it in my Amazon store. If you made it this far in the video and you like these paint jobs I do all the time, the spray outs, be it Rust-Oleum or automotive or whatever, I'm always doing crazy different things, trying to show you guys the easiest and cheapest way to do it. Cost altogether for this paint job today was around $500. I did end up with more materials left over because I just had to paint 2 fenders, and a tank. So you really, for the cost of $500, you could do a small to medium sized car in this color, and it would turn out beautiful, because this color right here is one of the prettiest blues I think I've ever painted, guys. But if you made it this far in the video, you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button. Take a minute, a second to ring that bell notification so you don't miss an episode. Drop me a quick like and comment. And as always, I tell you guys, with every spray out, with every paint job on this channel, rate it, because it ain't up to me, guys. It's up to you. You guys make this possible, and I'm very grateful and blessed to have each and every one of you continue to come watch these videos. Rate it 1 through 5, rate it 1 through 10, however you want to. If you want to spray this exact color, like I said, I'll have the paint code and all the information down in the description. And I appreciate you guys tremendously for watching today. I'm John from Whitley Auto Works. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.